Storm PA, MrPopZit here. All right, we are going live. Let me make sure I got that to everybody. I think we do. Right about there. There we go. People are starting to like it. People are showing up. Happy Friday. Let's let some people get here. Whoa! Goes from 0 to 150 like that. Good times. All right. So there we go. Hello, hello, and happy Friday, everybody. So I got big news, and 3:55. We got a lot of people here, and I like that because I want you guys to hear this. The big news is everything is free. So I think that's very cool to do, and I'm excited to do it. And I'm gonna walk you through why. So I know there's a little bit of a delay, but I'm gonna walk through why and why I made that choice, and it has to do with a lot of you all. There were my paid subscriptions. I'm gonna tell you why I did it. I'm gonna tell you why I'm throwing it out. This thing is a living thing. You know, things grow. You can see my channel has grown like crazy. So from my editing to everything that we do. And let me move this here. There we go. Get this perfect. So there's multiple reasons. One, the challenges for the Apple people was a nightmare. It's just not easy. It was 27 clicks to even do it, for one. And the big thing is YouTube is basically an advertising agency. It's been advertising from day one. And, you know, there's some ads. People deal with that. But the content is free. And that's how it's been. Okay? And I get that. And they're trying to compete with other paid sites, I believe. And you know, it's just not, it's not what the brand is. And so when they demonetize me, and a lot of people don't even know that YouTube channels are demonetized, especially medical channels. So that was just a battle I'm not going to fight. And so, you know, I tried to do the paid subscriptions, but it just didn't feel right because, you know, you guys helped build this thing, seeing all the stuff. My throat's feeling better. Thank you so much. You guys helped build this, and you know, it just wasn't the right fit to do paid subscriptions. And one of the big reasons was the 2 new types of videos I was adding. I really enjoyed doing, and you guys seem to enjoy it. I got so much positive feedback. I was like, I can't charge for this. Not everybody can afford it. Half the people got Apple products. It was a real nightmare. So I wanted to do it for free. So the people who did that, you know, sign up, there was a group that did. I did a small members only video. There's something for them. I appreciate that early support. I know not everybody could do it, literally, physically couldn't do it with their phone, or they didn't have the money, and that's okay. So I thank you for the positive feedback. You guys have shaped this channel from the very beginning, and you know, we try certain things. If it's not a good fit, we move quick. You know, I just didn't feel right. That's why I did so many free ones of the new videos right off the bat. Oh my gosh, very cool. Super chat from Laura Barzik. We'll just have to make sure I do a super chat. That is so cool. Thank you so much. And that is another, and I appreciate you bringing that up. That's another aspect. Super chat and super stickers will still be there for the people who do want to donate. When they can donate, every bit helps to buy merch and pay for lawyers and all this stuff. But I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And so, you know, that will come in. I figure the other thing I'm going to do, and I wanted to let you guys know, I'm going to do some third-party ads. So I know you guys don't mind ads because this is what YouTube is all about. Oh my gosh, so cool. Sarah Bryan, thank you so much. You are so awesome. You are so awesome. I appreciate the support. So what I'm going to do is there's going to be some third-party ads, a 20 or 30-second spot before the video happens. I know you guys don't mind that. You can skip it. Even also, one thing I'm going to do, which I think will be cool, is in my descriptions, there's going to be some links just to stuff that I use. You guys have asked so many questions about where do I get what you have or what you're using or your light. Oh my gosh, very cool. Embers Fallen, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate that. You guys ask about certain questions, what I'm wearing, what I'm using, and I'm going to put some links in the descriptions of the videos. And you don't have to buy anything. If you even just click it, it helps. It helps support the channel and helps me keep this free. It's just a link to Amazon usually, or other links. And I'm going to try and make it per what I do. So it's not just a link to click a link. So I see another one. Christina Bailey, love your channel. Thank you so much. $10 for the support. I appreciate that so much. That's awesome. Christina Bailey. So yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I was having so much fun doing these new videos that I wanted to keep it free. So that's basically the big news. This is all going to be free. It should be on most Fridays and Sundays. Most Fridays it'll be at noon. Today I had a bunch of stuff in the morning, but I'll put it on the community tab. And Sundays will likely be at 2. The boys usually have some type of sport in the morning. And then the baby takes a nap. It's a good time to break away and do these. So, know what you guys are waiting for. You're waiting for a video dissection, and I got a good one coming right now. So that's going to be cool. Very cool. Brenda Miller, thank you so much. Lemon Character doing shoulder shimmy dance moves. Boom, there you go. Thanks for the support. Also, Kathy Yarborough, thank you. The kiddo, good question with the virus that shall not be named. Kathy, he's doing great. He had a temperature for a day and a half, a little bit of a raspy voice. Still testing positive 4 to 5 days in, but no symptoms. And all of us are testing negative, strangely enough. So, very cool. But yes, thank you guys so much. So, we're going to do a video dissection now. Let me back myself out of here into the small, put me in the corner. And this is an interesting case. So, I want to give a little backstory here on this guy. Very nice guy. And he came in and he actually has a case of argyria. And for those of you who don't know what argyria is, there's a lot of people in the 70s that took colloidal silver for any different number of reasons. However, if you were really obsessive compulsive about it, I want to make sure I didn't miss something here. Yeah, Sarah Bryan, thank you so much. I think I missed that super chat. It flew by. Embers Fallen, super chat. Thank you so much for the support. Christina Bailey also. I already got those ones. I feel like I missed one. Kathy, yes, we got them all. Okay, there was one that flew by, and I had this over at the side, so I almost missed it. There's another one. I just got home from work, and I'm so excited you're doing live chats. Holly Thomason, thank you so much. Overall, I had a couple people say, just stop talking and don't do these types of videos, but most of you seem to like it, and I appreciate that because I think it's kind of fun. Most of you have questions on basically on what these videos were about, and this is our chance to answer them. You know, when I post these videos, and this is an old video and we're getting ready to go into, it's from over a year. Some of my first videos, and you can tell by the editing, I'm not even holding the camera sideways. It's a mess. You can see these black lines on the side. I had a lot to learn in the beginning. Don't know how to do super chat, Ellen Trimmel. It should come up. I think I don't know how to do super chat either, to be honest with you. But yes, argyria. I've only seen it in textbooks as well. Let's get back to this guy. He's very interesting. Super sweet guy, blue face and blue torso. And I asked him, you know, the funniest thing is, I remember they called him the Smurf Man, a guy on Oprah. He went on Oprah and he was totally blue for years. He did a couple interviews on Oprah and he thought silver like made him feel better. Deborah Webster, thank you so much for the support. Super chat. You guys are too awesome. I can't appreciate you enough. It's going to keep this going. And I kind of like the idea of super chat other than a paid subscription, because everybody can see it, and those who can't give or want to give or have a question or just want to go support, they can do that. And I think that's so cool. So silver salt in the colloidal silver mixed with sunlight, it starts to turn the silver in the skin. It kind of turns back to the silver salt and turns the skin blue. That's a short version. But it stains the skin. You really got to kind of overdo it. And you know, this guy did a lot of it. And the interesting thing about this guy is that I was going to have him back and put him on the channel with his blue face if he wanted to. And I saw him 3 times, and my channel was still kind of in the beginnings. And I was very dedicated to not showing people's identity and really protecting their privacy in the beginning. And then I realized there's a lot of people that want to show their story, and they want to show their face. And I had no idea. And so I didn't even ask him the first couple of times. And then as my channel progressed, I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask him because he has a really interesting, rare thing. And that's a great chance for people to learn what that presentation is. Argyria. So let me turn on this light right here. I got some weird lighting going on. As the sun goes down, it comes through the window. And there we go. And that helps a little bit. Let me open the blinds. Little better. There we go. Okay. So, oh my gosh, Brenda Miller, super chat, $20. Thank you so much. You guys are just amazing. Also, Paul, thank you so much. I appreciate every bit. Every bit helps, man. You guys are awesome. So this Argyria, not only it was that an interesting presentation, when he came in and he's like, hey, you know, my leg hurts. I was like, okay, let's get you on the table. I touched his leg, and you could see from the video, you're going to see these what look like abscesses, but they what I later learned, they weren't individual abscesses. These were kind of sinus tracts coming out from his hip infection. And it's not an uncommon thing for that to happen. And he had 3 hip replacements because of it. And it's very difficult. When you get something embedded on implants, it's something called a biofilm. And biofilms are where certain bacteria can get on non-human or non-cellular structures like an implant, and they will secrete a kind of coating, a gelatinous coating that protects them from the body attacking from the outside. And obviously the titanium or whatever the implant is going to attack from the inside, and they can cause a chronic infection. It can be horrible, and it can get up in the joint. And I've seen some, when, orthopedic rotations I did, just some horrible outcomes where they really can't get it under control. He had 3, but it had been 12 years. In 12 years, he had 3 hip replacements. And, he had chronic pain. And one of the first negative things I got, negative comments that like just came out of left field were, where's the catch basin? You know, what are you doing? You have no idea what you're doing. And he couldn't open his legs because of his hip issues. And so because of his hip issues, he literally couldn't open outwards. And I think it's called pronation. I'd have to look that up. I could be wrong. Somebody will correct me. He could not open outwards. And so I couldn't fit the catch basin in there. And I hadn't thought of my little cup idea yet, which would have been a good idea for him. Would have been a great idea because I probably would have got the most I've ever gotten. So when I went up, I thought he had a staph infection, multiple staph infections on the skin. It would be a little pocket of pus. We had plenty of gauze, and so I hit this thing. And as you see, let's push play, and then we'll get to the point here. Enough talking, right? Jeez, I've been talking 15 minutes before we can hit play. I see what these people are talking about. We have multiple abscesses here in this area, drying up pretty well with antibiotics. However, there's one that's kind of fluctuant here. You can feel we might get some fluid out of this, and it'll take some of that pressure off, and it won't hurt them so bad.
when we start to see this peeling, you can see that these are actually retracting and going down. This one isn't peeling quite as much, and it feels like there's a fluid pocket. So we're going to do a small IND. Little pinch here, okay?
All right.
Sorry.
And
You all right?
here comes the...
Good, good. There we go.
And you see... Now you see what's coming out is a lot of serous fluid, this yellow kind of fluid. I can't stress enough, his entire leg was like as hard as a log of wood. And it was pretty, I probably should have picked up on that. I was just like, man, you know, I think he's just stiff. He doesn't have a lot of fat. I thought he just had a stiff hamstring because he's an older guy, didn't work out. But as I start pushing this out, the whole leg deflates and becomes soft. And then I really start to realize the extent of this serous fluid. And then you're going to see as I keep pushing what I get out of it. And we actually did culture this and actually came back as just, it wasn't MRSA, but it was Staph aureus. So let's keep going. You'll see what comes out here.
Okay.
Well, did you get oil?
Yeah, we're getting oil. We are hitting oil here. Hold on one sec. That whole
I like,
pocket.
give me some backup gauze here.
Oh yeah, when it was draining, when the other one was draining,
He's telling me he's done it before.
Kind of clear?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice,
That's what we're
guys.
getting this time too. So you can take these, I'll hold pressure and we'll go get more. You can take those. That's why he's so hard even over here. Now, how long ago was your hip replacement?
Hip replacement was in, the last one was in 2012.
Okay, 2012.
Yeah,
So that's been a while.
yes it is.
But this is new that these just came up, is that right?
Oh yeah.
Jeez, look at that thing.
Okay.
It is
That's
just
quite a bit of fluid that you have in there.
going.
It doesn't surprise me.
And they've had to change it out a couple
The
times for you?
PCP did blood cultures. Good question, Britt
Yeah.
Common.
Okay. More than twice?
I've had 3 altogether.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of fluid we're going to get out for him. He's going to feel a lot better.
Got almost
We'll just get one of
700
these
watching.
towels
That's
and put it in
awesome.
the
This is
towel.
our highest watched live.
Just get an extra one of these and we'll put it right there.
Gregoria
Feel it's
de
going
Jesus. De Jesus, sorry. Very cool. Hello, hello, New York City. Stay warm out there. I know you guys are getting a lot of snow.
Yeah, we'll just put it down there. And we'll put the old ones down there. So they're filling up here. Now we're getting less.
There we go. So I'm going to pause it. I start to get, you can see purulence, almost like little pockets of pus. It almost looks like dried up pus, actually, which is interesting. That's going to start coming out here. And he was so nice. I asked him if he's in any pain. He didn't feel any pain.
It's draining and draining.
Oh, no, I know. This one isn't full screen. This is my early
There's a little bit of
Rebecca
pus.
Ross.
A lot of fluid.
Good call. This is one of my first videos. I was
Serious
not
fluid.
versed in YouTube yet, unfortunately.
See, that's still draining. No wonder you were in pain.
Oh yeah. Considerably.
So
What
much.
that culture shows that you did.
Nothing. It didn't show, the culture that we got didn't show any bacteria.
Yeah, that was our first culture.
But we didn't get a whole lot of fluid from it either the last time.
So this was his second visit. The first time he just had a little tiny whitehead lower down, and that I thought would have been a staph infection, which it wasn't. But you'll see we culture on this one when he starts to get the purulence coming out. He actually came in like 3 or 4 times.
Boy, that was a good full cup.
Wow.
And a lot of your tightness has gone down, so that's going to feel a lot better for you.
Great.
Quite a bit better. You can see that whole bump just deflated.
Good question, Deborah.
Let's do, you can get the culture
Is
now.
anybody predisposed to this? Diabetics, potentially, obese patients, anybody that's immunocompromised is going to have issue with a possible infection. But anytime you open somebody up all the way down to the joint like that, there is a risk of sepsis. Yes, Wani. But yeah, anytime you open down the joint, infections happen. I think it's 4 to 6% in the clinical setting. I think it's a little bit less in a hospital surgical setting. But it happens. It happens even when you do everything right. You don't know if they're sweating into their wound afterwards, if they're not listening and going and doing the Stairmaster right after and sweating into it. But very cool, Sarah Schuberg. Thank you so much. I got 360 videos. There should be a lot to watch. But you don't know how much the patient listens to you after, you know, you do everything you can. You got sterile field, but infections happen. It just happens.
There was a little pus on that one. I'm going to see if we can get anything. Do a second culture deeper in this time.
Thank you so much.
One sec.
Still coming out. It's unbelievable.
Swab it.
Here comes the purulence, I think.
That's mostly blood. A little bit of pus that came out right there.
There we go.
Can you get that? Yeah, just swab it and we'll see if we get anything.
Deep down in there.
That's good. So at the end of all that
Good
fluid,
question, Sharon.
I did get a little bit of kind of purulent discharge, like pus-like discharge. I don't see any cyst contents or anything, but we literally got a full cup, if not more, of fluid out of there for you. And this will drain likely for still a couple, maybe 2 or 3 days. And then that little tiny hole that I made is going to seal up. We're going to have a little pressure bandage on here for you.
Okay.
And that pressure bandage is just going to kind of absorb some of the fluid that's still leaking out for the next couple days before it heals over.
Right.
And we'll send out. That's good.
Absolutely, Lynn R. Keep water away from excisions. Now, I absolutely agree. Generally, even on the small excisions, I do little cysts and that. I tell people do not shower. It's really technically 14 to 17 hours, I believe, the cut will seal. I tell people 24 just to be safe. Worst thing they could do is 6 hours later go take a shower and wash bacteria into, even with the sutures, if any bit gets in there, way higher risk. Or go golfing or something like that for 6 hours and sweat. That's what I tell the guys all the time. They're like, when can I go golf? I'm like, not within days. You know, let yourself heal a little bit. Let that seal where it's at. And I reiterate it. I tell them. I give them a paper that says it, and it never fails. Some of them do. Quick side story. I had a girl who had a cyst right here. Not even a big cyst. This is a funny story. And I told her, no exercising. No exercise. Just don't do anything. Just take it easy for 3 days. The face is even worse. If you got a little vessel, a little tiny one that starts leaking because they did something, it can really swell. Well, she didn't exercise, but she went home and went on one of those big blow-up balls to stretch your back and was going backwards. And she was stretching, doing all this, like, you know, stretching out. And she came in 3 maybe days later, and I'm not even kidding. She looked like a Klingon, and she swelled almost 2.5 inches out. It was a small artery that most likely broke free, and it went down to here centrally and went all the way out here. And she had all this fluid that had built up. I wish I had my channel then. I would have definitely taken a picture and said, this is why you don't work out after a surgery, especially on the face. And she, you know, she's like, oh, wasn't working out. I'm like, yeah, I told you just to take it easy. But, you know, we did drain a little, but most of it went down, and within 3 to 4 weeks, she was fine. But the presentation was, my MAs were like, you're not even going to believe when you go in this room. They couldn't believe it. So, but back to this.
Draining on me, I wrapped an ace bandage around it, and shoot, it was almost going clear through that.
This guy's
so nice. You not having any pain at all? Not
Oh.
much? You're not getting any pain here at all?
No, not really.
Good.
Such a nice guy. Still draining. It's crazy.
Almost done. We're not getting much out now. That's good. That hole, it was all the way from there to there. It was a large abscess.
So I'm pressing.
No pain there?
No.
Good.
I'm pressing way almost a foot back almost up to the side of his hip, and I'm expressing content, kind of just melting it down.
Gosh, a lot of different things. Some people get chronic, like what's called a biofilm around hip replacements, and it's like a gelatinous bacterial overgrowth on some of the replacement parts that are in there. And it gives you this chronic infection that just kind of keeps coming up, and your body keeps reacting to it and putting all this fluid in there. Yeah. And your body's immune response to it. If that's the case, that's probably why they've changed your hip replacement a couple times. That's good. That abscess actually went from here to here. You can see it's all deflated in there now. Lots of fluid and some pus. Pretty much done.
I agree.
A bit of blood.
Should have had him stand over a bucket, she said.
So we're going to keep you on the antibiotic, and I'm going to I want to see you this first 2 weeks, every 3 days, to change a fresh bandage and kind of keep an eye on it for you.
All right.
And then hopefully these other ones are getting better. They dried up, but if you got a couple of these pockets, we may end up going to an infectious disease doctor.
I ended up sending him to infectious disease, actually.
See if we need a couple different types of or IV antibiotics that can sometimes knock it out. But that's it. That's all fluid. Very good. Glad that you didn't really have any pain either, which is nice. Probably because it feels better, all that fluid's out of there.
Probably so.
Yeah. So we'll do a little pressure bandage there for him. That's going to drain just a little bit. Nah, you can throw all those away. And that's good. And we'll do, let's see, today is Thursday. I want to see you back on Monday.
Ross,
actually.
thank you so much for the support.
No
I appreciate it.
Okay, this coming Monday?
Yeah. We'll see you the first week or two. I'm going to see you every couple days. Make sure everything is going down.
I actually watched it pretty closely.
And then
suction, that's a good question. That's a common question. Driving guy one, and somebody else asked it just a second ago, but they went right up the list of questions. A lot of outpatient derm clinics don't have suction unless they have a plastic surgeon or some of the Mohs surgeons will have a full surgical setup. But most don't have suction because they don't want to deal with what comes out and having, they don't do it enough to make it worthwhile to have somebody come in and pick up the amount of fluid and contents and fat tissue to get out. A lot of people have it. They do tumescent for, fat tissue, doing liposuction and removing that. Yeah, we got up to 9:15. That's so cool. Are watching. So the reason the suction, a lot of times on these abscesses, and I see a lot of abscesses, and I've mentioned it before, but underneath is like an ulcer. You go in there and you put some negative pressure on that, it could be extremely painful. Just gentle pressure is extremely painful, but if you don't want to make a big wide opening on that because it's not going to come together correctly. You need to put some stitches in. And in this case, there's no cyst contents or anything to get in there and dig out. So just a small cut so you can get that fluid out. It drains for 3 or 4 days and then it heals, which is good. So let's keep going. We're almost done. And then I have his follow-up. I have that coming. It's pictures, but...
Ever ultrasound, did an ultrasound or MRI in the area?
I've had MRIs before, yeah.
That was years ago, though?
Yeah, I think the last one I had was last year or something.
Okay. Yeah. What did they say from that?
Well, it was on the hip.
Yeah, just on the replacement, it was doing okay?
Right.
He did get antibiotics.
So we'll put a pressure bandage on there. This will try and refill usually. These have gone down. We might end up doing that one eventually.
I did have a catch basin to the side. It just it would not fit there because of his legs. He couldn't spread. I tried to put it there, and he was in pretty bad pain from it. So I was like, listen, you know what? I don't think it's going to be that big. Obviously, I was way wrong on that. There's no way to know that fluid went back an entire foot there. But, hey, we got gauze for days.
Antibiotic, it's getting better.
We went
follow up with him. This little hole will kind of leak for a couple days to get the remaining fluid out and then seal up. And
Turn the
that
basement
whole
really would
abscess
work
was from
great.
here to here, so he's way better.
Kirsty Stevenson.
A lot softer there. That was a lot of his body's response to something that is bothering him in there.
Okay, so here we go. This was his before. Or if that's loud for you guys.
All right, guys.
All right.
Hey,
We can
Mr.
skip me.
Pop.
I'm just saying everything I just said, but this was his 3-week follow-up.
Thanks for your concern. Have a good day. Stay safe.
Actually, it would kind of be cool.
And he just laughed and he said, "That's very nice."
Right here.
Filled up great. No warmth, no tenderness, and he's
This is
extremely
3-week
happy.
follow-up.
I told him that many of you are concerned, and he just laughed and he said, "That's very nice."
He thought it was cool.
So,
You guys were.
just want to let you guys know because I have a ton of comments on that video that he's doing great, and I have the picture there. And thanks for your concern. Have a good day. Stay safe.
3 weeks post. Okay. There we go. So that was some early editing of my videos there. So that was his 3-week follow-up. He actually, I believe, ended up filling up one more time. I think. Oh, I hope my sound's not breaking up. It was off for a second, but so he came in one more time, but not much came out. It was like 1/50th of what came out there. The antibiotics seemed to work for him. I sent him to infectious disease. And I believe they gave him 2 antibiotics, and you know, it dried up and he was good. He came. That was it. His 3 weeks. He was good for a while. Came back one other time as a small flare, and then he was good after that. He came back like 3 months later, and it was nothing. And then by that time, my channel was doing pretty decent, and I was going to ask him about that Argyria. Hey, let's do a little video if you don't mind to show. And it was mostly his face and the upper body, but. That would have been a neat one to share. But you can look it up. It's Argyria, Argyria, and it's Smurf syndrome, blue man face. You know, they call it a lot of things. Hello, Scotty, welcome. But the interesting thing about this case, there was a couple things. The firmness to his leg, but with focused red bumps. And I actually went down on another visit, and I did poke one of the lower ones, and there wasn't anything in it, which was strange. But his initial presentation, he was peeling, which usually you're peeling, you're healing. They were actually retracting because he was given antibiotics. But when I drank, you know, that's why I didn't think I was going to get much. I was like, oh, he's healing. You know, he's got a couple hot spots. We'll just hit this one that feels the most fluctuant, like it had fluid in it. And boy, did it. I hit that thing and it just started going. So that was a good case. That's one of, I think, my top 5 videos. And you know, I hope to see him again. My Riverside office changed location, so it's probably why he hasn't come back, because sometimes they don't look up that we have a new location. But I hope he comes back someday. I hope he's doing okay. He's a great guy, and it, you know, it should be pretty good. So I'm sure he's still doing okay. But let's answer some questions. One thing I want to say is I want to cap it at the beginning, at the end. All these videos are free going forward. All of it. Every video I do. I'm going to be doing just some placed ads. I'm going to try third-party advertising because YouTube won't let me advertise. It's like less than 1%. There are a couple videos you will see a couple advertisements on, but literally 98%. They're also restricting them, age restricting, which restricts, and they don't send out notifications. So there's a little bit of a shrinkage going on my channel because of all that. But you know, we'll keep pressing forward. We got a lot of good videos to share, and you guys are here, and it's fun. So I'm going to keep doing it and see if we can get around and, you know, get some merch and things like that with some of the super chats that you guys are doing, which I really appreciate. And then I'm going to have just some linked ads. I'm even going to put a link to my light. I have a light that I wear, and I got it on Amazon. A lot of people ask questions about that. It's a great light. It has no filament in the middle. It is a LED. So if you need a headlamp for doing stuff in your backyard, or if you do surgery, a plastic surgeon recommended his light. He's a mountain biker. I was a mountain biker, and I was like, that's a mountain bike light. And he's like, I know. It's great. And then I started using them, and I really liked it. So I'm going to put a link on the description of this. And you don't have to buy it. Even looking at it helps out the channel and helps me keep all this free. So I appreciate that. So let's answer a couple of questions. Got a couple more minutes, and then we'll call it a Friday night. So you guys can go enjoy the rest of the night. PopZit shirt. Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. And I'm literally this week getting all my samples to approve. Once they're approved, it's all going to go live. And I got some cool things coming, guys. I don't even want to ruin it. They're just kind of fun. But I have a little, I'm just going to let you see them. I don't even want to ruin it. But we got some good stuff coming, so it'll be cool. With repetitive infections, we drain. I'm going to just start reading some of these questions if you guys have some. Sharon Wells. Then irrigate with copious amounts of sterile fluids. Then many times the surgeon would place catheters. Yes. So normally, absolutely, that's what you would do if you have a deep surgical infection. He didn't have a big open scar. This was his last surgery, I think, was done like 7 years prior to that. So I don't know, if he got a big abscess and it tracked down to. It was a very strange case, obviously, as you could see. But yeah, flushing out fluid in there and then even packing. This one, because he had so many sinus tracts, I didn't want to flush something deeper and into a place that it wasn't before. So I didn't flush him. I didn't pack him. I just tried it. And most of the beginning was serous fluid. It was kind of his body's reaction to whatever was going on. And the purulent discharge was actually kind of like coagulated and dried up a little bit. So I think he was over fighting the infection for the most part, which was good. So yeah, there's no longer memberships to the channel. That's right. I'm going to be removing them tonight. So I know a lot of the people, there was a group of people that had signed up. So when they watch this, they will be retroactively, YouTube pays you back for the rest of the month. And I put a video up with an email on there. I'm going to send them something for being my early sign up people. They just have to check that, but I appreciate it. I still did the videos, just everybody saw them. But yeah, I thought they'd be happy. They don't have to pay anymore too, so it's going to be free. But yes, he wasn't a diabetic. No, Jane White, good question. And yeah, I'm excited for you guys to see the shirts. I have a couple really cool hats coming too. I don't wear hats much when I fish. I'm going to also do a live. You guys are going to see what I look like when I fish, and you're going to really laugh because I look like a ninja. I'm going to start a live in my gear, what I wear when I'm fishing. So it's going to be funny. Yes, the tubes to drain or putting in a drain using cautery. Yeah, from Sue. Sue Lastman, thank you so much for the super chat. Steatocystoma using cautery to destroy the sac. Absolutely, you can do that. And I'll tell you when I do that. If I have a really big steatocystoma with a pretty decent sized sac, I usually will cut a little more and try to get it out. You saw I just did the guy's arm and he had one big one. I was just trying to prove if they were lipomas or steatocystomas. And that was a pretty good sized steatocystoma. Got that sac out. It's a big enough hole to put in a couple stitches. For the small sacs and the smaller ones that are under 7 millimeters, 6 millimeters, you can make a 3 millimeter opening, 4 millimeter opening and put in that cautery. And it will literally, it's like touching a sac. It's just like with sebaceous hyperplasias. You barely touch them, the heat shrinks everything down. And then the body just reabsorbs the remnants of it. It does destroy it. And I have had patients from 7, 8 years ago, and they have had no regrowth. It's probably the longest I would have. I'd say that I've done that 8 years. I do try to get the sac out when I can. And so... Oh, interesting. You say that, Wani R. Pop me. I like it. PopZit, MrPopZit. There are some funny shirts coming. So, yeah, Yes, so it does work. It works great, especially for the smaller ones. And the bigger ones, generally, you get behind. They're big enough you can get behind them. You can usually press those sacs out. It's the small ones that give you the trouble, and it's the small ones that generally I will do that little bit of cautery on them. So and I've got some videos of that coming up too. We're gonna do video. I'm probably gonna do more video dissections than the pop talk breakdowns, but just because they're more fun. But we're gonna be doing both. Generally on Fridays and Sundays most of the time, unless I got date night with MrPopZit or something like that. So it's been 40 minutes. It's been a good one. I really this has been my most successful live. We were almost to 1,000 people, and I really appreciate all the stickers, super chats, and the support. I'm excited. I got a really good video coming here. Try to do it tonight. Probably post it in the morning. It's an extraction video. It's a good one. So thanks again. I hope you guys have a Friday night. Remember, I'm going to keep it free by just doing some links in the descriptions. If you can click them, the clicks even help. You don't even have to pay anything or buy anything, but it does help. So I appreciate it, guys. And you guys have a great, great Friday night. Thanks for popping by.